Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Corporate Connect episode. With us today, we have Tanmay Kumar Sharma, who has been placed at Vision Technologies at Talent Acquisitions. Before, he has done his internship in HDFC Bank, wherein he was a marketing intern over there. And before that, he has also done his internship at Apollo International as a finance intern. So today, we'll be diving deep into his internships, his placements, and also his startup, which is Markmate Solutions. So, yeah, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you, Sanjana. Thanks a lot. Let's get started with this.
Yes.
So, Tanmay, you have got a lot of experience, professional experience. Like you have done internship in HDFC Bank as a summer intern as a finance intern as a marketing intern over there, and in Apollo International Limited as a marketing intern. So, can you share the experience and what was the difference between them?
To be honest, in order to get into Apollo International, I had to give aptitude tests. At that time, I was very active with the KET preparation, so I was easily able to clear out the aptitude test. It was 3 rounds of aptitude, then two HR rounds, and then one final interview. So it was around six rounds, I guess. And then I became an intern in Apollo International. Now, Apollo International basically includes all the Apollo companies that are there, be it Apollo Tires, be it your Apollo Hospital segments. All the segments comes under AIL, that is Apollo International Limited. Being a finance intern in the headquarters of that corporate, obviously it was a really fantastic thing. I used to meet with the CEOs and the CFOs, and I worked on a project called Bharat Hira Kendra at that time. Particularly, I made the finance sheets and the cost sheet for the projects, and later pitched it to the Russian investors. That was the highlight of the internship. Talking about HDFC, to be honest, the biggest flex in HDFC was that my office was right in front of the RBI office, Bengaluru.
Okay.
So whenever I used to come out of the HDFC office, I'll be very happy seeing RBI there in Bengaluru. So yeah, again, HDFC, it was the headquarters for South Zone of HDFC, whole of the South Indian zone. And obviously it was a great thing. My manager who used to manage me used to handle 5 different states. So I was in connections with branch managers of different states. I met almost all the branch managers from Bangalore SDFC. So that was clearly a great experience. And one of the best things about SDFC was that there was a lot of field work. I had to go to different branches in Bengaluru, make sure that the all the marketing communications are right. For example, you'll see the outlets of all the Burger Kings, Pizza Huts, or McDonald's will be same. So all the marketing communications have to be strategically placed in these situations. Same goes with SDFC. So my work was to see that all the marketing communications are placed right in the branches. Even the smaller defections or mistakes cannot be accepted. So I got a lot of raw experience, first-hand experience in that.
So that sounds like a hectic journey, but quite a learning opportunity for you.
Of course.
So basically, I can sense that you are more into finance, but in Vision Technology, you have taken different role, which is talent acquisition, which is nowhere related to your interests and things like that. So why actually did you select that?
To be honest, I would say I would give more clearance to this particular question towards the end of the podcast. There's a reason why, because HR roles are usually the market research roles, or you will be a research analyst. No one is going to make you the hedge fund manager on day one. Come on. You will be on the lowest of the cadres, and the amount of workload you will have in a finance role, obviously, it's going to be a heavy one. Whereas compared to a talent acquisition role, the amount of workload is far more less. So I'll have time to focus on different things. And I know this is not a permanent job placement. I'm obviously gonna go for my MBA 1 year, 2 years down the line. Maybe in foreign, maybe in India. I'm not sure about that. Plus, as you mentioned, I have a business to focus on. So in order to manage the time and keep the time balanced, so that I can side by side focus on my startup in these 2 years. I know it's not the final placement. It's obviously going to create a question, but it was my personal choice to take it this way.
Okay.
So, can you explain more about talent acquisition and the difference between talent acquisition and HR?
Of course, that's one of the main concerns for the audience as well, the students who are coming up next year for the placements. There are two things. First of all, HR and talent acquisition. I'll take the example of accounts and finance. If you ask a non-commerce guy what is the difference between accounts and finance, of course they are gonna mess up. They think accounts is also same, finance is also same. For that matter, even my dad thinks that account and finance is same only. But the thing is, accounts is just like the basics for finance. If you don't know account, you don't know balance sheet, P&L, you cannot do finance. Of course, you have to analyze things from the accounts the final deliverables that are your balance sheets, P&L, cash flows. Then you have to source the information out of those deliverables. That is finance. How do we sources all the ratios, all sorts of things we look at. The point is same goes with talent acquisition and HR. HR is something which manages the employee. Talent acquisition is that in a company there's a position open for, let's just say, a marketing person, or let's just say a CFO. So you have to go and find the candidate. Basically in human resource, we have always read, or in class 12th only we read, that the best thing to recruitment is create a big pool of candidates. That is the main focus for every talent acquisition team. Once you create a pool, you shortlist them, you get their interviews sorted, post that you get them on board, and you take care of those person that you have gotten onboarded, and then you'll have to manage them, of course, just like the normal HR. So it's kind of similar but kind of different also at the same time. So yeah, that's the difference.
So, like, do you think the whatever we read in our books, like business studies, we have accountancy, we make journals and ledgers. So, does it like work in real corporate life?
If I come about corporate life, I would like to share one instance. So I was an intern in Apollo. So can anyone tell me what is the best quick ratio, ideal quick ratio that we have? That is 1:1.
1:1.
When I calculated, he gave me, first day he gave me, calculate the quick ratio. I told him, sir, the quick ratio is coming 1:3. I've added it 3 times. Okay, I've done all the calculations again and again. It's coming 1:3. Company is in trouble. He told me, in corporates, it's never gonna be 1:1. It's your work to make the adjustment and make it 1:1. So what we read in the books,
It's
it's kind of
completely
different
different.
from the practical.
Okay.
What we read in the books, it's obviously the basics. If you don't know that, you're gonna mess up there. But yeah, implementation is far more different, far more difficult, and you have to be creative, to be honest.
Okay. And from your resume, when we went through it, there were some academic projects which you have listed them down.
Of
So
course.
could you please tell me how were they impactful for getting your placement?
To be honest, now I cannot mention MarkMate as a startup.
Yes.
Because it's gonna be a big, hope killer for the corporates. When I sit with a corporate manager, I'm explaining him, I'm asking him for a job basically. But at the same time, if I'll write MarkMate as a company and as a founder, it's gonna show that I have different priorities too. Now understand it from my perspective. If I'm running a company, I want to hire some guy. I want that he should look at MarkMate the way I look. That means first priority MarkMate solutions. So tip number 1, never mention your startups or your such kind of clubs and all as your number 1 priority, or do not mention it in your experience part of the resume. Mention it in your academic projects.
Okay.
That was told to me by one of the HRs only. When I gave the interview, he told me your priority will be MarkMate, not our company. So why should I hire you? Then I told him, sir, it's not like that. But where should I mention MarkMate? It's one of the biggest things I've done. He told me mention it always in the academic part of it.
The same company that hired you.
Not the same company. I got rejected from
Okay.
one of the companies.
Okay, you learned from it.
Yeah, exactly.
But what if the company is incorporated and things?
If the company is
Incorporated. If it's a private limited company.
my company is if it's incorporated.
Yeah, like actually I run my own company and it's incorporated already.
See, it's always about if the company is incorporated, you are obviously gonna have a structure about it, right?
Yes.
So if you're gonna have a structure about it, it's a private limited. You can have BODs,
What's
board
that?
of directors.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so never take the position of the CEO or any position that involves the daily working of the company. Understand this. CEO's work is to involve in the daily routine of the company's work, right? Whereas BODs come for the major events, the major decisions you have taken. So work somewhere else, be in the BODs of your company. You'll have the full control of the company, but you don't have to involve on daily basis. The routine works that are there. It can go on autopilot mode. Have a CEO at that time.
Okay. No, I mean to say that if you told that whenever you have a startup, you'll have to mention that in your academic achievements and projects. So how can I mention a company which is completely established company as a project?
That's what I'm saying. In your academic projects, mention that you are the BOD of this company, board of directors of this company. You are not a part of this company. You are not an employee of this company. You're not the CEO. You just have a seat on the board.
Okay.
There are multiple CFOs. I met one guy. He's actually the CFO of Zepto right now. I don't remember his name. So this guy was a board of director in Blinkit and was working in Zepto.
Oh.
So I was blown. Okay, sir, how can you do that?
Yeah.
Isn't there a question on your resume? He told me never involved into day-to-day working of the company. Don't be an employee of the company. Have a seat on the board.
Then what do we mention that on LinkedIn?
That you are have a seat on the board. You are the you are on the board of directors of the company. If you have Guidero Private Limited, just mention that you are a board of director in Guidero Private Limited. Don't mention you are the founder. Don't mention you are the CEO.
Okay.
I mean, okay, founder is a good thing. Come on, but don't get obsessed with the title. Just be obsessed with the work.
Understood. That was really useful. Yeah.
So you have been through a lot of internship and you have gone through placement process. So what is the most like common GD topic, group discussion topic, and what is one thing that you will recommend our audience towards group discussion?
See, if it's about group discussions, I'll be very harshly honest with you. Um, Most of the students look at the highest placement is 22,50,000 DShaw in our batch.
Yeah.
Now, most of the juniors get excited that 22,50,000. But the point is, out of a batch of 15,000 students from all the Christ campuses in Bangalore, we have 4 campuses. All the campuses have BBA as a program. So BBA, BCom students will also sit in those placements. So BBA, BCom, DPS, all these departments come together. It's a pool of 15,000 candidates. Out of that, DShaw is going to hire one. So I always say this. I'm a KS trainer as well, if you can see. So I go to KS classes. I always say this to juniors that how many of you have scored 3.9 GPA? I think many of our audiences would have scored 3.9
Yeah.
GPA. No personal comments to you guys. It's good that you are scoring 3.9 GPA, but I will always say a person who has scored 98% in class 12th is also sitting in Christ. A person who has scored 85, 87, a person like me, I personally scored 86 point something in class 12th. I'm also sitting here and I got placed. So it's never about the percentage. Okay, till a point, it's about the percentage. Your percentage in college should be above 71, 72. That is the safe zone. Because most of the companies have the first filtering criteria they have is that your CGPA, that is the accumulated GPA of all the semesters, should be above 70%. That is around someone 3 plus, you consider it, 3.1, 3.2 plus. Post that, it doesn't matter if you have 3.9 or you have 3.5. Until and unless you can crack the aptitude test. That is the thing that is gonna make you stand out. Your internships, your aptitude test preparations, that is one thing that's gonna make you stand out from the crowd. And how should we go about the aptitude test? The best thing is the CAT syllabus is here. The aptitude syllabus is here. It's
Aptitude
almost
syllabus
same
for the placement.
for the placements.
Yeah.
It's almost same. So someone who is looking out in second year or in first year, that when is the ideal time to start for CAT preparations? I get this question a lot of times in KS trainings. So I always say there's no ideal time. Start as soon as you can, because in second years, as soon as you enter in second years, you will have companies like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan coming out for internships with aptitude tests. It's gonna help you there. When you come in third year, as soon as the first company that comes to the campus is DShaw with 22 lakhs 50,000, of course. So your CAT preparation is gonna play a major role. I missed on that because there was no one to tell me. I missed on that. Obviously, I regret it a lot. I could have been in a better company. But yeah, I'm totally happy with whatever I have and whatever I have did. So my guidance to the people is start with your CAT preparations and focus on aptitude part more. Until and unless you are scoring 3.3, 3.4, your GPA is sorted. Don't worry much about on that part.
Also, is it better to work in startups for our summer internships, or should we work in better companies?
It's a tough question. To be honest, a good one. It totally depends what do you want. There are students who are solely focused that I have to make my career in corporates. And by career, they mean the top level, the top notch cream levels of the corporates. If I name it in finance, let's just say JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, or Bank of America. Okay, these are the kind of companies they look on to. DShaw, Verity. So if you are that kind of a person, I would obviously say the name of the company matters in which you are doing the summer internships.
Okay.
It's of course gonna play a role when you sit for the interviews. Once you clear your aptitude test for Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan, when you're gonna go for the interviews, the name will matter. Of course, your skill sets will also matter for sure. Especially companies like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, those who have core finance roles, they always take a skill set test. So of course that is also gonna matter, but name plays a role there. If I come about startups, now people who are very much focused that at the end of the day I have to join my family business, or I have to start my own business, or I have to get into industrial business or startups, then I would suggest go for sales role in startups. Now people underestimate sales role very much.
Yes.
I'll tell you one thing. There's a company called Godrej. I don't know it's
Yeah,
famous
yeah,
here or not.
yeah.
Very popular.
in Delhi NCR, Godrej has a lot of projects. Personally, I come from Gurgaon, so the major market share of Gurgaon real estate sector is with Godrej only. So DLF and then Godrej. So Godrej is offering around 9 lakhs in campus, whereas the average goes around 6 to 7 lakhs for the sales role. Now, real estate is a very lucrative sector for someone who want to go into sales. And as I told you, you want to start a startup, you want to join your family business, start your own business, anything. The first thing you should be know कि मुझे बेचना कैसे है. How should I sell a thing? How should I sell an item personally? Until and unless you don't know sales, you cannot bring in the actual business in any company. So my advice to the people who want to join their family businesses or want to start their something own, go into startups. Explore the fields, not in one kind of field that if I join the startup, I'm in finance, I'm going to stay in finance. No. Do the job rotation thing. It's very much easy in startups. Startups are, nowadays, startups are very chill going, very easy. The work culture is good. So if you do job rotation there, it's not a big hectic. You can work in sales for let's just say 4-5 months. Then you can shift to finance. You can shift to marketing. It gives you a first-hand experience, first of all, a raw experience. Second of all, third thing is that you get the experience of different fields. So when you start something of your own, you might not be the master of a particular trade, but you'll be the jack of all trades.
Correct.
That's the point, and which is very much necessary, because sitting in Markment, I have to personally look onto marketing. I have to look onto sales part of it. I have to look onto the communication part of it, bringing the actual business. So I think what I did in back in HDFC was one of the major game changers for me.
So what I believe is that first years, the students who are in their first year should go for startups
Exactly.
to explore their fields.
Exactly.
But when they move to second year, they should focus on more of corporate sectors, because they need to gain knowledge about corporate sectors.
Exactly. I'll tell you one more thing. The problem with us is all the BBA students and BCom students, most of us come from commerce backgrounds. Now, science, SST, English, maths, all these are subjects which have been taught to us from, let's just say, second, third class. All of us had SST in sixth class, social studies, then it got divided into history, civics, geography, and economics. Commerce is one subject which is introduced itself in class 11th. 11th, 12th, you read the basics of commerce. How do we make a balance sheet? Even I still remember in 11th and 12th, we used to make the balance sheet not in the standard format, but like on this, divide the page in the half and write on both assets and liabilities. So that's the basic. When a student crosses his 12th, he's not so sure what I have to do. One option is, of course, what parents say, CA kar lo. CFA kar lo. These are the options, or BCom is one of the lucrative options. BBA is also there, but in today's date, there are a lot more industries. There are a lot more options that you can do. So obviously, I think the students, those who are in first year, should look out for different
They should
fields.
explore more.
Explore more, obviously.
Okay. And also, when it comes to certifications and courses, how do we find the right course, and what are the platforms which is trustable and which we even get to learn and these certificates hold
Like
value?
there are a lot of fields, like courses like Udemy, then Coursera.
I get it. Even again, case comes into play into this. I'll give you one very sorted example for all the audience also. If I ask you that, do you want to do a course in speaking English, in communication? And once you do the course, do you need the certificate? Because always the battle has been about skill versus the certificates.
Yes, yes.
Am I correct on this? Audience will have the same doubt. Skill or certificates? So if I ask you that, can you speak English? You'll obviously say yes. I'll ask you, do you have a certificate for that? Do you have, Sanjana?
No.
Do you guys have? No. Why? Because I can speak English. I can show you that I'm capable of speaking this particular language, or maybe it's French, maybe it's German, maybe it's Mandarin even. Okay. So for something that is practical, now people ask me, Bhaiya, Excel certification chahiye kya? Do we need some Excel certification? I'll be like, if you can perform the basics of Excel, you know how to upload a balance sheet, you know how to sort a balance sheet in Excel, you know it, you don't need a certificate for that. So do it from any open platform. By open platform, I'll suggest you, if someone check out my LinkedIn, check out that my first post will be from a website called Forage.
Oh, Forage, right.
That I have
Investment
explained in
banking.
classes many a times. Back in 2022, none of the influencers even knew about Forage. I was looking for Excel course. I came across Forage by mistake. So it's a platform which gives you free virtual jobs to everyone, and you can experience what would feel like to work in an actual JP Morgan company or a Bank of America in this particular role. Once you complete a
simulation.
job simulation, once you complete the project they've given you, it's a 3 to 4 hour project which you can complete in 3 to 4 weeks as well. You get a certificate, digital certificate from Bank of America. So people come to me in first year that bhaiya, we don't have a LinkedIn. So I'll say, if you have an Instagram, you can log in there. You can log into LinkedIn as well. The UI and the UX is very simple for that as well. And people come to me with the second question that we have a LinkedIn, but we haven't posted anything because we don't know what to do. So your first post gets sorted when you log into 4H, complete a course, put it on your LinkedIn. That what all you learned in the course, what was your project, and what you did in the course. Put it on your LinkedIn. Your first post got sorted. After that, I would suggest you go for the advanced courses. Once you complete your basic Excel, go for the advanced courses, specifically finance students. Go for R programming, then learn Python, then learn how to integrate Excel and Python together. There are big commands in Excel that take me around 10 minutes to 20 minutes to execute in Excel, but I have to put one code in Python. The same work will be done in 1 to 2 minutes.
So like for that we need to learn advanced Python or
Advanced
basic?
Python. Now, when I come to Python and R programming, it's out of our field. So we need certifications for that. Yes. How can you get free certifications? I always say go to Coursera. Any course you like on Coursera, be it 1 lakh, be it 2 lakhs, be it 200, 2000, any amount. Always there be an option given that financial aid
Financial
available.
aid.
Yeah.
I
It comes
found
to
this hack.
200, 300.
Personally, I would like to tell the audience I have done courses around 15 to 20,000 rupees worth courses I've done free of cost from Coursera. So that's a hack. Point is, Coursera is a company which is registered in US and UK, where the education right is a free of cost, right? So they always have an option. अब वो लोग highlight नहीं करेंगे. They'll not highlight. They'll highlight the button of start
Yeah.
enrollment. Besides, in small letters, it will be written financial aid available. So you can click that. Always tell them you are unemployed. You don't have any money to pay. Drag the cursor to 0. Fill an application. In 10-15 days, your application will be approved. Whole of the course with certificate will be available to you for free of cost. I have told this in multiple classes. People don't follow it. That's the problem. But you can have any kind of course for free of cost. So any kind of skill you want to learn, go on Coursera, apply for financial aid. Wait for it. What I used to do was I'll apply for one financial aid, start doing the course. Simultaneously, I'll apply for another one because I know this course I'm going to finish it in next 10-15 days. Till then, my next course will be on the line.
Okay. And usually, when it comes to courses and certificates, like for finance, we can understand, but there are creative fields like marketing. What would you suggest? What type of courses should a person do if a person is really interested in the field of marketing?
When I went to HDFC, one of the thing was given to me was to run a Facebook ad. Now I've been a core finance guy. I never knew how to run a Facebook ad.
Yeah.
I started searching about it. I knew the terms like SEO, search engine optimization, pay-per-click, PPC. I knew how the meta ads works, but I didn't know how to run a meta ad, what kind of target audience we should say. So I'll personally suggest you, when you keep your foot in the marketing, the first course you should look out for is Google Digital Marketing from Google Digital Garage. It's a very comprehensive course of 60 hours. I'm not kidding. It would take you around 6 months to complete it. But once you complete it, you'll be known to the basics of running ads on Google.
Okay.
All the basics. It should be very clear to you how a Google ad works. The websites that I saw on the top of my Google search results are usually the sponsored websites. How all these things works. So in order to enter into the basics of this digital marketing space, you should complete that course for sure. It's a free of cost course from Google with certificate, 60-hour course. It's very comprehensive and gives you all sorts of knowledge. Second thing, if you want to get into the space of meta business or meta ads, of course, it's a platform by Meta itself, formerly Facebook, I guess. Then Facebook provides kind of courses that explains how the system works. How can you grow your WhatsApp business community? How can you grow a community on Instagram? If you are an influencer, what all you have to do? And all these courses are available on Facebook or Meta websites, free of cost with certificates.
Okay. And what if it's offline marketing?
Offline marketing, I would again suggest go to Coursera. Try courses like B2B on-ground collaborations, because that is the main thing that I did in HDFC. And B2B business to business on-ground collaborations is what I do in Markmet. I get the brands, I get them on board with us. They sponsor the water bottles. So now it becomes a B2B collaboration between me and them, between Markmet Solutions and those brands. So B2B collaboration is one thing which is actually dying. But if you want to look into that field, be more creative, learn a lot, learn a lot of great writers and do some courses about that. But if you personally ask me what is the best part of marketing, either you get into the editing aspect of it, editing and the production aspect of it, or you get into the creative aspect of it, be a content creator. If you don't want both of these, not editing, not on the face on the camera, then go for the third aspect in which you learn how to run these things.
Okay, got it.
So you have done a lot of certifications and you have explained about the courses. But do you think if we get into a real internship and if we get into job experience, then only we can like get real knowledge out of it, right?
Of course, doing internships is always a plus point. When I sat for my interviews, one of the major tiebreakers in interviews, I'll tell you from my personal experience, was people who have 2 internships or 1 internships. And I'm talking about summer internship. Most of the first year students take it very lightly that we have to do a compulsory internship next year, not in this year.
So they don't-
and
don't
they waste their first summer break going here and there, roaming around.
They should do in the startups
Exactly.
even if they are not getting internships in a good
Exactly.
company.
And courses also you should do simultaneously with your course. If someone tells me that BBA or BCom is a very comprehensive course, I'm very busy with that, I'm not gonna believe it.
Yeah.
Because all of us know that we can complete the entire syllabus in, let's just say, 1 month or 2 months. Okay, we can study, or we can have a schedule. We can study day-to-day basis and we'll be free at the time of examination. So I'll say, do your courses with your ongoing classes and curriculums. And if someone is into CA, so I'll not suggest them be focused on CA as well. So the point is, when I talk about internships only, no, it's not like that. Internships and actual job is a good work experience, no doubts, nothing is about that. But if you actually want to take work experience while with your ongoing classes, there's something called Coursera guided projects. Now, what they do is, I completed a particular thing on Excel. I learned how to analyze a balance sheet in Excel. Post that, I'll go to Coursera guided courses. I'll try to find a guided project which explains me how to analyze a balance sheet on Excel. They'll give me step-by-step guidance. At the end of the project, I'll create a project of my own on a particular company. Now, this project I can put on LinkedIn. I can put on any social websites where the recruiters are there. And I'll have a project. I'll have an experience how actual things works in corporates. It's not above internships or work experience. But yeah, it's a good thing that you're doing it simultaneously with your classes when you don't have the time for doing internships. And I think online internships are also a tiebreaker. When I got placed in TA, talent acquisition, after getting placed also, I took up an internship in TA to understand what is the work around there. Because I was a core finance guy, I didn't know anything about it. So I took up a 2 months unpaid internship for that. After interning in Apollo International HDFC, I interned in a company called Oxygent, which was a startup. But there I had a lot more authority. I had a lot more to experience, and I learned about talent acquisition. So that when I go on the day one of my office, I should not be clueless what to do.
That is brilliant. That's a brilliant move. And also, these were all regarding certifications and internships and a lot of things. When it comes to the clubs and committees of the university, it's observed that you are in KABMA, wherein you handle your head
You
of
handle sponsorship.
So, how is that? Is it creating any value? And what are the other clubs you were a part of before?
I'll tell you two things. People go to 3 major clubs I know in this campus.
Yeah.
SWO, which were there in my first year.
Yes,
SWO, Kamma, and somewhat ECL was coming up at that
Yeah.
time. So I'll tell you the hack about the clubs. The point is, most of the students get involved in these clubs in the first year. They'll try to make contacts and connects with seniors, be you the favorite of the seniors. Second year, they'll try to take somewhat position. Third year, they want to be the SR of the club, the head of sponsorship and whatnot. Even I was head of sponsorship for a very brief time. That time badges were not print, so it was just namesake.
Yeah.
Okay, I bought on 1 or 2 sponsors, I remember, but not very much of amount. But the one thing I learned in CSBMA was, what I understood in clubs was, never be loyal to a single club. Honestly, I'm saying never be loyal to a single club, never be loyal to ECL, Kamma or SWO. First year, if you got into Kamma, work there for 1 year, the point that what goes in and out of the club, how an event is organized. People tell me, when I ask them that you are in Kamma first years, what are you learning, which committee? Bhaiya, I'm in backstage. So his major work is to take the chairs from the stage, put it back there, or manage the backstage things which are there. I tell them, no matter you are in backstage, you should be knowing how an event is organized, how the event planners are written, how the event frameworks are written, how the sponsorships are getting onboarded, how the chief guests are invited, what all goes in the hospitality part of it. You should know in and out of the club. Once you know everything that goes in and out of the club, every activity from start of the event to the end of the event. Second thing, you should be knowing at least all the people from your batch. If I'm a first year in Kamma, I should be knowing all the first years in Kamma. The day I know in and out of the club and I know all the first years of the Kamma, that is the day I'll decide to leave Kamma and go to the next club. Because this gives me two things. For today, if I just say to you guys that I've been a SR of CSB, man, you can't catch me. Why? Because I have read all the things. I know all the works. Okay, I might not be the SR. I'll accept it. I am not the SR, but I know what all goes in Kamma. How the works are organized, how the events are organized, how the budget is set. I know everything. And from my batch, I know almost all the people who were there in Kamma. Be it your SRs, be it your committee heads. I know all of them. Now what happens is for Markmet, it's helping me when I have to organize the first event of Markmet in the campus. So CSA was putting up stalls at that time. I contacted the CSA heads. I talked to them. I told them I need one stall, and I got the stall. That was the launch of Markmet back in April 2023. Now, whenever a club is organizing some event, they'll track me down. They'll call me. They'll contact me. They'll ask me for the water bottles free of cost because their budget is going down and they don't have a problem with that. So all the contacts that I made in first year in Kamma, of course, they helped me a lot. And all the things I learned. Now, how do I know that I have to organize this particular event? We recently in Markmet organized one event for Bellevue. So it was almost similar to organizing an event in Kamma.
Yeah.
So all of my experience came from there. So I always say, don't run behind the position. It's all about the network you make. It's all about the experience you have. And don't stay in one club just because you'll be the SR next year or you'll be head of some committee. Don't stay there. Go to the next club. Increase your network.
Okay.
Now, talking about your resume. So, do you think ATS score matters? Because I checked your resume last night. It was good. The score was good. I don't remember the score, but it was good.
If you checked it, you should have remembered, but it's fine. My
It was
ATS
above 70.
my ATS last time I checked, this is actually about resumes. I'll tell you guys one thing. The people who apply for different roles, you should have different resumes.
Yeah.
I went to IMB recently for a networking event. So I saw the seniors of IMB who were in the second year of their MBA was about to get placed. They'll have 4 different piles of resumes. One for the finance roles, one for the HR roles, one for the marketing roles, one for the other kind of roles. Let's just say product managers. So I have 4 different resumes. After coming back from IMB back in September, I realized this. I had 4 different sets of resume. Now every time I sit, what happens is a finance role is coming. I like the role, I want to apply. I applied for it, but I had to change my resume according to the job structure requirements. Next time a marketing resume is coming. Now I don't have to do the minor changes for the marketing part. I'll have to change my resume experience entirely, then submit the marketing resume. Rather have 4 different resumes for all the fields that you want to apply for. Plus, when a finance role comes, what I used to do was, I'll tell you one great thing. You always have a job description for whichever company is coming. Let's just say JP Morgan is coming for a research analyst. They'll have a very good job description about it. Take the job description, upload it to GPT. Tell me the elements that I have to upload the job description. Tell them to read it properly and memorize all the things. Keep it in the feed. The next thing in the chart is upload your own resume, finance resume. Now tell GPT to compare the job description and your thing and ask the GPT to work as a ATS and tell me the elements that I have to add in my resume to make my ATS score above 90% for this particular job description.
Okay.
Now do you guys get it what I used to do?
Yeah.
So this way my ATS score always would have been above the job requirements. Now what happens with the open ATS platform is my job description might be of marketing. I'm uploading a resume finance centric. Now the ATS score is showing 82, but my resume might not get shortlisted there because their job description was totally different from what I wrote in my resume. So I would always suggest upload your JD first, ask it to memorize, then upload your resume, then ask it to compare both the things and make sure that your ATS scores remains above 90 for this particular job description.
Smart. Got it. And some people get confused regarding if they want to pursue their startup only or should they go and sit for the placement. So what's your suggestion for that?
I'll be honest, I don't have much to say on that part. I'm still confused. But I'll say always be in an advantageous situation. Don't be in a situation where you should regret 10 years down the lines or 15 years down the lines. I have a startup. Okay, it's not going on the pace it should grow because we obviously look at the stories like Zepto that they took 1 year and they grew it into $1 million company.
Yeah.
Or we take the story of Dipender Goyal. But I tell you, there are stories like Shadi.com also. Anupam Mittal founded it back in 1994. 1992 or 3, I remember, Jeff Bezos started with Amazon. At the same time, Anupam Mittal started with Shadi.com. Now both are on different levels. Of course, there's no comparison between Jeff Bezos or Anupam Mittal. Both have different personalities, different fields, and different pros and cons. But I'll say after 10 years, 20 years down the line, I don't want to regret that I left my startup just because I wanted to go to corporates, or I left corporates just because I wanted to pursue my startup and it didn't turn out good for me. So I'll be in a very secure situation I'll join my job. I'll do extra time. Of course, it takes a lot of time, as well as I'll try to focus on my startup as well and grow it on a, if not on a rapid pace, but on a more disciplined and stabilized phase. And once I think it's in a phase that it can give me a continuous revenue stream, that day I'll decide to say tata bye to the corporates and focus on the startup part. And I'll suggest everyone that always be in an advantageous situation. Don't leave something that you might regret. If you go for the business might not turn good, then you'll regret that I didn't go to corporates because of this business. Or you go to corporates, you are in a good position also, because corporates guarantees you one thing, that if you're working 10 to 15 years, you'll climb the corporate ladder for sure.
Correct.
You're not going to stay on one path, whereas business does not guarantees this. Obviously, there's risk involved. So once you go to corporates 10 years, 15 years down the line, but you regret that the thrills and the ups and downs of the business, we did not experience that. 15 years before I had the time, now the train has left the station. So I'll obviously say be in an advantageous situation. And when you don't know what to do, then don't do anything. Let it go whatever the way it's going.
Okay.
Play with the flow. So that's it.
Got it. And so, whenever the companies ask, what are your plans 5 years down the line? Where do you see yourself? So, how would you answer it in a smarter way when you have startup?
I'll be
in
honest, most of the companies don't ask this question. Where do you see 5 years down the lines yourself?
Okay.
Because the companies that are coming to hire the BBA students or BCom students, out of 100 companies, I would say 80 of them are pretty sure that you're going to go for an MBA.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
be honest.
Okay.
That's where I want a WorkX. That's why I'm joining your particular corporation XYZ. And post that I want a WorkX. Now what the company plays a smarter way. What they'll do is they'll offer you a MBA from their side. There are companies like Accenture came to the campus for hiring HRM students, basically HR management students. So what they did was that you'll join Accenture, you clear our aptitude test, and it's a very lucrative program, to be honest. You join Accenture. Once you join Accenture, you will be sent to XLRI, Jamshedpur. From there, you'll get your MBA in correspondence in HRM. Now, if you'll search, the best HRM college in India is XLRI, Jamshedpur.
Okay.
For sure, no doubts, it's the number one rank, because Christ might be famous for its BBA programs. XLRI is very famous for its HR management program. It's the best in the country. Their CAT cutoff is around 98%. Close to 99 for general category, if I talk about. So there you'll get direct admission without the competition of the CAT. You'll get your MBA in correspondence, plus you'll be working for Accenture, plus you'll be getting a salary without paying the fees for MBA. So I'm not paying any fees. I'm not facing any CAT competition. Plus I'm getting a salary, a basic salary of 20 to 22,000 for 2 years. Post those 2 years, I have to serve 2 more years in Accenture, I guess. So total of 4 years, 2 MBA and 2 non-MBA years or post-MBA years in Accenture. Post that I can change my company. And I looked on the program. It was started in somewhere 2010 or 11. I don't remember the exact time. Since then, there are great alumni from Accenture and XLRI that have passed out through this program. And I think it's a very lucrative program. So if you are not sure where do you see yourself in next 5 years, go for such programs which offers you a MBA.
Okay.
Go for these companies. And if the company is not disclosing that they are offering an MBA, every company has an education policy for the undergraduate students. Be very open to them that, sir, 2 years, 3 years, I want to take a WorkX. Then I would want to go for my higher studies. If you and I can figure out something after 2 years, after my higher studies, I can come back and work for you. That's the best and the safest answer that a HR would expect. Because understand this thing, HR told me again, okay, I've been hiring from Christ since 8 to 10 years. So what do you think? I don't know the answers. I know all the answers. What do you want to say? Because I've seen a lot of batches before you,
Yeah.
and I'm going to see a lot of batches after you.
Yeah.
So that's the best answer. Be honest there. Whatever you feel like. The point might be his understandings or your understandings might not match. So it's better not to take that job where your goals do not match.
Okay.
People are in this whole this stance that I have to crack JP Morgan, but it might be that JP Morgan wants something else, you want something else. You have different ways, so it's better not to join JP Morgan.
Understood. Got it. It was really insightful on whatever we
Yeah.
heard from your side. Do you have any other queries?
No, I
Okay.
guess we are done then.
It was really very noteworthy. So thank you so much, Sanmai, for your
Thank you,
time. We really
Sanjana.
had a great time
Thank you, Sanjana. Thank you,
interviewing
Sriram.
you.
Thank you.
So guys, make sure that you subscribe to our channel to learn more and from a lot of guests who have been secured higher, good packages in higher companies, so that you'll get more insights in these ways.